Hi everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another movie review. Um, this Sunday I went to see The Iron Lady, which was about Margaret Thatcher, and honestly I didn't really know anything about her. Um, I must be frank, I really thought that she was a very inspirational figure. She was very resolute, she was very grounded and everything that she did. She spoke her mind. And she knew what she wanted and she knew exactly how to state something and get it across. The movie itself I thought was really interesting as well as tragic because it depicts her in the twilight of her life. And this was a woman who was once very um, powerful and had influence over quite a lot of people. And she was going into a realm that was basically a good old boys club, as we would say over here in the States. And it was just a gentleman's atmosphere. Parliament had been privy to men for years, so they were not willing to let a woman into their domain. um, this movie shows prejudice at its height, and it's just it really is engrossing and transfixing. Of course, it might be laborious in parts, just because it's this is the way that European films are most of the time, especially if it's a biopic. And this one I would give 3.5 out of 4 stars, just because of the fact of the matter that they go back and forth from Margaret Thatcher's winter to her spring, and people watching the film might become a little bit confused with the pace of that, but it's really quite an astonishing film, and I do believe Meryl Streep already got an award for it, or she will be awarded. Oh, she did get the award, excuse me, which she deserved, assuredly. She was just superb as usual, and I thought I was watching Maggie rather than Meryl, because she just took on the persona of Margaret Thatcher, and just that whole resiliency of her, that the straightforwardness of her character, and just the idea that she cared more for thoughts than feelings. And actually, that was one of my favorite favorite lines in the whole film. And she says, "Oh, everybody asks me how am I feeling? Well, doctor, I entreat you this. Ask me what I am thinking, because as far as I'm concerned, feelings and emotions are transitory. Thoughts and ideas, now there is where my true interest lies." And I thought, yeah, I can relate, even though I am a very emotional being. I thought that this movie is very inspirational, even though the ending was very, well, the ending, I'm not going to give away the ending, but it's very tragic, and it's very sad in spots. So I would recommend bringing Kleenex to the theater. Um, One thing I really liked about it, other than the cinematography and just the way that they depict Margaret's relationship with her mother, they really don't go too much into it. But as far as I could deduce, she wasn't close to her mother at all, and the way she talks about her father is almost like she exalts him, and I think she was a bit of a daddy's girl. Um, I just I knew that she loved her husband Dennis, just indefinitely. They had such a strong tie, and they were perfect. They were evenly matched, and you know the adage behind every great man is a great woman. Well, I think that can be said vice versa in this case, because he was the one factor, her pillar, whenever she went to Parliament for the first time in that signature blue dress that she loved so much, and she was often seen wearing that. She clutched her skirt in anxious um, and anxiety. And I can understand that. I think anybody who would be put in that kind of position and have that much influence and power and responsibility, that would just be overwhelming. It would drive you mad. But uh, she she would be assuaged by him saying to her, "Steady the bus, uh, steady, old girl." And I don't know what it was about that, but I just thought, oh, that's such a sweet. This is the sweetest thing I've ever seen. This is the sweetest thing I've ever heard. Is this so beautiful? And I am glad that Dennis was there for her. I'm not going to give anything away about the whole Twilight sequence in in her life, because that'll give away a really huge film point and plot, and I'm not going to do that. As far as films are concerned, I would highly recommend it, just because just it's intriguing. It'll transfix you from the get go. It's really fantastically done, even though it is a little bit slow and a little bit boring in spots. So um, I like the British wit. I've always enjoyed it. There was one scene where she was being taught how to elocute, and of course, a lot of I think you saw it in the King's Speech as well, with the main character, but she was told that her voice wasn't strong enough, and she was too meek, and she had to call her husband into the next room, and her vocal coach said, no, that's not what we're looking for. It's too timid. Try again. Ah, and then say, command your husband to come into the room, Dennis. Dennis, and then he actually said, oh, what? And she says, oh no, I didn't mean. I was quacking. And I just thought that was so funny. I just got a big kick out of that. That was one of my favorite scenes in the entire film, other than just the way that they showed the relationship between her mother and her children. I think she became something that she didn't want to become, and then there's actually an elucidation to that later. I'm not going to tell when it is or when it happens, but it's very interesting and revealing about her character, and you think, oh, how ironic, but I won't say anything about that particular scene. If you're an Anglophile, definitely see this. If you are a fan of Meryl Streep, indubitably see this, because this is just gives you more knowledge of her range as an actress. She is phenomenal. She's such a consummate actress, and I have nothing but praise for her, and I'm just completely awed and enlightened by her presence, and just I think that she's just one of the greatest actresses of our time, and I'm really excited to see whether she will get an Oscar. I think that she should. I sincerely hope that she does, and I predict that she will, and if she doesn't, I'll be disappointed, but um, I think this is probably one of the best biopics I've seen in a long time, well, other than J. Edgar. It's still a remnant of 2011, so I haven't seen Red Tails yet, so I will review that this weekend, so keep your eyes peeled for that one.